I'm Anna Zornosa. I'm founder and CEO of Ruby Ribbon. Choosing a major in communications when I was entering college was something of a natural choice. There were a lot of changes happening. Broadcast television was starting to make way to cable. There was a proliferation of satellites. There was a sense that there was going to be a lot of change in everything that we think of as communications. Of course, at that point in time, no one could tell that the internet was coming, but there were a lot of fundamental changes that were coming about in communications. I started working for high-tech publications that were covering the proliferation of the computer industry and all the changes that were happening in telecommunications. And I ended up running for a publishing company that focused on high-tech publications. They're advertising in the western part of the United States. My clients were companies like Microsoft and Apple. And there in the mid-1990s, you started to get a sense that something very big was happening. And that very big thing, of course, was the internet. And because I was working with these companies, I saw very early on that this was, in fact, not just a little bit of a change, but a really momentous change. There's just so much change that's happening, both from technology and from lifestyle that technology has enabled. Women have so many more opportunities to think about how they want to do things, and the sharing economy as a whole has given people more opportunities. When I started Ruby Ribbon, it was around the time that people started thinking about Uber and Airbnb and TaskRabbit, all these companies that allow people to sort of organize their assets in ways that give them more freedom of choice about how they blend their personal lives and professional lives, and that was very attractive to me. I didn't start by saying that I wanted to have a company whose products were sold in a very social way. I really started with the impulse that I wanted to create at scale thousands of jobs for female entrepreneurs that would allow them to have some of the joy that I've had in starting businesses and owning my own business. I wanted to figure out a way to do that at scale for other women. And I started thinking about the fact that all of my girlfriends started, standing at the soccer fields, flipping out their smartphones, communicating with great big communities of Facebook friends, and saying, wow, if you could have technology allowing women to tap into the tremendous social assets that they have while they were earning a living, what would that look like? And that inquiry took me back to a very venerable model, the direct sales model, which has historically been responsible for so much upward mobility and so much flexible work in this country. And I started to think, wow, if you really could take today's social media, today's technology, a fresh approach to product categories that were technology enabled, and blend this together, perhaps you could not just make a few jobs for female entrepreneurs, but maybe you could end up making thousands of them. And that's what took me in that direction. Today, Ruby Ribbon is still a very, very young company. We have over 1,000 women who are operating Ruby Ribbon businesses and representing our products across the country. Sometimes they're hairstylists, sometimes they are stay-at-home moms, sometimes they're teachers who are doing this partly as a way to prepare for their retirement. There's just a huge spectrum of women doing it. And I'm so pleased that those women now are starting to make really, really meaningful salaries. We have women who are running their own companies now who are making over six figures. We have women, who are regularly contributing to their families, paying the mortgages, paying for all the dance lessons and all the club soccer fees and all of those things. So it's tremendously, tremendously gratifying. However, 1,000 is so small. 1,000 means that almost every market in the United States, no one has heard of Ruby Ribbon. There is so much opportunity for a woman who is either wants to do something that just simply allows her to contribute or allows her to have a little bit of fun, or a woman who really, really wants to have a corporate career.